So the other day, I was just sitting here looking at some random videos on YouTube, and I saw that Starfield had finally revealed some of its gameplay on the Xbox Bethesda showcase thing. It looked pretty fucking cool, ain't even lie. But there was a couple of things a lot of people had problems with, and so did I, and they saw a lot of similarities to certain games, as you know. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So Starfield, pretty much, it kind of played and felt like Fallout and Skyrim. That's what it looked like. It played like kind of the slow action moving, and then the NPCs kind of fighting back at you. That's kind of what it felt like. But I mean, Bethesda games were never really known for their combat, as in like the Fallout and the Skyrim series. I mean, sure, the combat was there, but it's all like clunky and whatnot, you know, and it's up to the modders to kind of fix it. But it shouldn't be that way, because they shouldn't fix their own damn game, you know what I mean? But a big thing and a lot of similarities people have been drawn to is No Man's Sky, because of the fact that towards the end and near the end, they mentioned quite a couple key things. One was 1,000 planets to explore and a couple systems to explore within for all those planets to be in. And it basically showed the ship taking off different planets and how it would kind of look like. But basically, in an interview after that, they talked about how each planet, there's going to be a lot of procedural generation, but they said that they've used procedural generation before, so it isn't such a big deal. But in this case, there's 100% going to be a lot of planets. Like I'd be betting like 90% of the planets are going to be just barren wastelands with not much. But if there's going to be cool buildings and such like that, and like, kind of like things to explore that are procedurally generated, but like kind of add to it, maybe I could stick with that. But if it's just going to be a whole planet with just nothing but, you know, walking simulator, you know, it is what it is. And I would rather not prefer it, but it kind of is what it is. There's not much you can do about it, because you know they've been in works with this game for quite a while now, and so there's a lot they had to think about. There's a lot they've had to craft with, and so like making all these different planets, for 1,000 of them, it'd be close to impossible to try to handcraft each and every one of them. So it only makes sense for this procedural generation to occur. But I mean, I think we'll just have to wait and see till we play the game to know what it's actually like, you know. But another thing that kind of got me was the performance. It was quite a bit chugging at certain points, especially when it was mining and all those rocks fell. You saw the performance kind of hiccup there. A lot of people did, and nobody liked that. I mean, nobody likes the performance in a game. You don't want your FPS to go down, and it kind of takes you off the immersion and stuff like that. But I don't know if they were playing it on a computer or an Xbox Series X or S or whatnot. I'd be guessing an Xbox Series X. But I mean, we'd have to see when it comes to PC if we can maybe up that performance a little bit with the hardware we do have. That might make it a little bit better, but I don't think it should be up to like the best performance computers to be able to run the game just fine. I think it should be, you know, up to the developers to try and make the game very optimized and run well on a lot of these systems, including the Xbox Series S, because I know it isn't the most powerful thing. It's kind of on the lower end side, pretty cheap, but it should be able to run, because there's a lot of people that do have that console. I used to have that console. It ran fine some of the games, but I'd like my performance to at least be somewhat there, playable, you know, at an enjoyable experience. One of the things I really thought of is, man, they really should just get a new engine. I know the Creation engine has been with them for a long time, and it seems like they really prefer that engine, but man, it's got so many bugs and hiccups and slowdowns. And as the old saying is, like, it's not a bug, it's a feature. At a certain point, come on, you know, you gotta squash these bugs or get a new engine. You know, I feel like they'd be due for a new engine for a while. You can't just keep upgrading the old thing to try to make it better when, you know, the base of it just isn't good. It's like, you know, Archimedes ship. At a certain point, you know, you're gonna be upgrading and upgrading the same engine, and then at what point is it really the Creation engine? At this point, they really should just get a new one. It just, I don't like the slowdowns and the performance and hiccups and all that. I don't think anybody does. But besides the Starfield stuff, I'm excited for the game. We'll see how it turns out. You never know, it could be freaking game of the year. Who knows? Another thing that I've been doing is I just barely got my Steamdeck, which is over here. This thing is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. It's got actually the screen. The thing that kind of surprised me is the screen that is quite a bit bigger than I thought it would be. Like I think it is the size of the Switch, but for some reason it feels bigger on this, even though with the big black borders and all that, and the huge controls on the side don't do it any justice. But it just looks and feels great. So yeah, I was really surprised with it. There's a lot of games that I'm downloading on it and trying to play on it, like God of War, Bright Memory Infinite, Borderlands, Astroneer, Titanfall. And I'm kind of surprised with the performance of some of these games. Like Bright Memory, I was able to run it at medium to high settings, 60 FPS easily, and that thing ran like butter. It's an amazing game. It really played well, so I'm really surprised that such a game like that was able to run fine. And then Titanfall 2 as well, that thing runs really great. The thing that gets me is like pretty much 60 FPS with console quality or better console quality graphics on a little handheld like this. It's gonna last me a couple hours, let's say on a plane ride, or let's say I'm just not near my computer and I just kind of want to play on the couch or whatnot. I think it's great, because one thing that gets me is the like 30 FPS games, and it just kind of takes me out of the immersion. I don't like it. Even if I try to lower some of the graphics on some of them. God of War is one of the games that I tried lowering the graphics as much as I could, you know, putting up I think it's DLSS, or for AMD is FX something. It's still chugged around at 30 FPS. I don't know if that's a performance issue or whatnot, but I just couldn't get it to run at at least a decent frame rate, whatnot. So maybe I'll have to tweak around a little bit more in that. But all the other games I played ran phenomenal. So I think it's a good little system, and I can definitely see myself playing a lot more single player games with this and actually getting to them. You know, not like every one of us has a big backlog catalog of single player games that we just haven't gotten to, yet we still play the same like single one game. Like let's say, like I play a lot of Destiny, and I have like say over 2,000 hours of it. But there's so many other games I really should get to, like I said, God of War, Bright Memory, what is it, Rise of the Tomb Raider games. I really want to try to finish all those. So maybe this perhaps might help me. I'm going to see if I can get the Epic Games Launcher. I think I can, because that's where a lot of those games are. I already have them on the Epic Games, so I'll probably be able to do that. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to tell you guys, and hopefully these videos are, you know, getting out there, interesting some of you, and we'll see what else we can talk about. I'm thinking of also streaming, you know, doing some React content, because I know that's a big thing, and it's kind of what I like to do as well on my free time. Is I kind of just like to watch videos and, you know, I guess talk to myself about them. It's like, man, I really could just be streaming this and, you know, maybe uploading some of these clips, and a lot of people would like this. So I think I'm gonna start doing that. But that's all. You know, if you like the videos, like and subscribe and all that, and I'll see you guys next time.